Money loves, and this is the result of yesterday's really rather haphazard power washing. You can see what a difference it made there, can't you? I mean, look, washed, not washed, dirty, clean. So, we'll get this finished off at some point over the next 3 or 4 months. And there is the stout and sturdy little chap that did the work. Time to reply to some of your comments on the videos. Cheeseburger, you're an evil man. Okay, so after a bit of a mad week, the quest to get on top of things and get life in order and things tidied up and not, oh hello, is that the posting? I need to go and have a look, I'm half expecting something. But yeah, the quest for tidiness goes on, and I've got a fair bit of washing up to do, but I have spent a little bit of time organising the top shelf of Bob, the inexpertly constructed palace of motory delight. Yeah, well, let's try not to look too hard at those bottom shelves, but we'll get onto those, and I need to tidy these shelves. And I need to order some oil and coolant. I should have that in stock. I should be a better modern classic car owner. Must try harder. Let's go and have a look at the post. Sit rep. It is raining. There's a pie in the oven and there's potatoes on the stove. Now you will see a gap there where the sharper-eyed amongst you may recall those two camping cupboard thingies were. And as I mentioned, I did put them on Facebook and they sold yesterday. Somebody came and picked them up and I got 30 quid for the pair of them. So, and yeah, if you remember, they came as part of that job lot of the tables and chairs that I wanted for the Land Rover lunches. And I can't remember how much I paid. You might, I think, was it 40 quid I paid for the whole kit and caboodle? So having got 30 quid for those two, that means that everything else that's there, and there were, what were there? A couple of chairs, a couple of tables, including a really big table, expensive ones. And whatever else there is that's all in the back of Miss Boo, it means all of that came effectively for a tenner. So, you know, a tenner, bugger all, really. So there's going to be no harm in those just sitting around and getting used as and when, now that they owe virtually nothing. And I'm still on the lookout for some Freelander, genuine Freelander roof bars, and in time a Land Rover roof box, and that will finish all of that off nicely. So yeah, pleased with that. A little bit of good news. Oh, and no update on the live stream stroke noise situation. I've not seen Nick yet, but I will let you know. Right, my lovelies. Now, there are still roadworks on the route that you're familiar with, and on a Friday there's going to be quite a tailback. So we're going to take an alternative route. I was going to say more circuitous, but I'm not convinced that it is. I'm not sure how much slower and or further it actually is. But what I am sure of is that none of you have done this with me, with one exception. Joe has on Tuesday on his way home. But the rest of you haven't, so I thought we could do it together. It's rather nice. So this is a bit that you're familiar with. Oh, bloody hell. Cut the corner away, don't you? And this is where we would normally turn left. But we're not going to. We're going to go straight on. If I'm quick. There we go. Now on the left here is where the annual Cromford Steam Fair takes place, and that's an enormous thing. Then there's some form of caravan park. You're bouncing about a bit, I do apologise. Sheep. Now I did used to travel this road regularly, but in the other direction, and that was when I was, no it wasn't, yes it was when I was living in Matlock, Bath, but working at the other restaurant, Clay Cross. We're going to chuck a left here. Now there's not sort of mount type thing up here somewhere. I think, oh bloody hell, a bus. Gosh. Yeah, there's a mount thing just on the left here. Something to do with water, I believe. Some kind of water tank, maybe? Treatment thing? I don't know, but there it is. Just down here, oh again, you're probably not going to see it. There's a stunning view down to the left as we just clear this hedge here. Right, I can see it now. Oh, I don't think you can. It's we're actually at a little bit of height here, and there really is a stunning vista down to the left. I'm sorry you can't see it. Oh, and now I've got a Defender right up my trumpet. Get over. Wave-faced poltroon. Oh, breathe in. Oh, another one. I'm obviously not the only one who's had the idea of avoiding the roadworks. This bend is tighter than it first looks. And here we come into the rather beautiful village of Crich, spelt Crich, C-R-I-C-H, pronounced Crich, and just there on the right is the entrance, or one of the entrances, to the rather famous Crich Tramway Museum, as featured in a John Shuttleworth song. And I've never been, and I love a tram. Maybe we should have a meet up there one day. They do have classic car shows and whatnot there. Ah, I should look into that. Unmistakable sound of an air-cooled flat floor. And here we go, dropping into the village centre. Public bogs on the left. Quite a rare sight these days, aren't they? Why do we not have public loos anymore? I mean, it's nothing to do with mobile phones or technology, is it? It's not like everybody's now got a lavatory in their pocket. I suppose it's just cost and cancelled budgets. There used to be loads of public shithouses. You're welcome. King's Arms, and whenever I say that, it reminds me of Carry On Henry. Barbara, you can let me whiz through. Ah, oh, bless you. Thank you, Mr. BMW man. I can squeeze through here as well. Jolly good. Yeah, Barbara Windsor and Sid James, bless him. Imagine little old me in the King's Arms. Well, why not? It's the best boozer in town. And that was a really bad Sid James impersonation. Not even close. And we drop down the hill to Bull Bridge. BJ. Be a good week, wouldn't it? Actually, be a good month. Joe, this is what this road is normally like. Tuesday night, this was chock-a-block. If you remember, the motorway was closed because a tanker had caught fire, and just every little rat run was clogged up to the nth degree. Quite a lot of housing has sprung up here relatively recently, spoiling it a little. Although the old pub that was an old wreck, the Canal Inn there, that's been rather nicely refurbished. Then there's a whole new estate on the right hand side here, going to drop down. And this, believe it or not, this is a mainline. That's a mainline railway heading over that bridge. So I'm not sure what the name of the line is, but it's the one of the main north-south. That's the line that you'd that you'd be on to go to Chesterfield and Sheffield and Leeds and well, gosh, goodness knows where else. And that line joins with the Derwent Valley line just about 2 miles down the road to our right at Ambergate. And heading the other way, it's well, it's straight through to Chesterfield. There's no other station on that line before Chesterfield now. Used to be, probably more than one. There was certainly used to be a station at Clay Cross, but now it just goes through the big tunnel at Clay Cross and emerges somewhere near Wingerworth, I think. You'll possibly see the line on the left hand side. There's a somewhat incongruous, just on the left there, passenger bridge over the line, which seems a bit odd. I don't know where it's going from or to. And just here is where I got my one and only speeding conviction. It was always 40 miles an hour through here, and they arbitrarily changed it to 30. Didn't tell anybody. Oh, hello, I'm being ping-ponged. And just set a sting up on the very first day. And of course, they caught all of us. We were all going along doing 37. That was, gosh, must be 3 years ago now. And because of the pandemic, I didn't do the speeding course. Had to take the points. The only points I've ever had. I mean, I should have had many more. I should have lost my license. But back in the day, there was always a loophole to wriggle out of it. Car being in trade or something like that. Can't get away with it anymore. Giving your dead grandfather the And there used to be a railway line somewhere on our right hand side. There's a, oh hello, what's going on here? There's a pub coming up called the Excavator, and you can see a glimpse of the old line that, I mean, I imagine that whatever line it was, it must have met up with the Midland Railway Centre or whatever it's called, that heritage line based at Butterley. And I imagine it would have also met up with, or was, the line that went down past Denby. Oh, come on, let's let him out. Go on then, if you're going. Couple of flash looking bike things behind me. I think one is a Honda Goldwing and the other is a tricycle of some nature. And that brings us back on track, my lovelies. This junction here is where we would normally come out from the road to the left, and we would turn left. So you know this bit from here on in, so I will turn you off. Hope you enjoyed that little glimpse of a slightly different route to work. And there's the Excavator pub on the right hand side. And Boo and I went there once on one of our pub lunch treats. Go on, I'll let you out. Just one though. And we had a very disappointing sandwich. Catch you in a bit. Hello my lovelies, and you join me at the end of the evening. And never let it be said that men can't multitask, because tonight, while I've been at work, I've bought a car. I have negotiated the purchase of a rather splendid motor carriage that that I think some of you will be really quite excited by, for God's sake. Now then, this isn't a personal car. This is a Mustard and Boaty car, but what a good one. Sorry, man. You carry on. You're working. Yeah, this is going to cause quite a bit of excitement, and it means that on Monday there's going to be quite a lengthy road trip acquisition adventure for Mustard and myself. So obviously you channel member guys will get to see it straight away on Tuesday morning. You'll get to know what it is. I'm not going to tell you in advance, but it's really, and I guarantee you 100%, 1,000%, Mustard will want to keep this car. Absolutely 100% guaranteed. No question whatsoever. But yeah, so there's going to be a good old road trip Monday. It's going to be an East Coast job, pretty much to the seaside. So I'm really excited about that. Really excited. So yeah, I've been doubly busy tonight. Cheers. Actually, do any of you want to have a guess what it is? If you get it right, I might tell you that you've got it right. And that's about it for tonight. I'm about to head off home, but I'll catch up with you again just to say good night. Say good night to the lovely viewers.
Good night, everybody. Jason's what's that? Boaty World. It's the wrap up for today.
Yep, that's a wrap.
For the busy weekend Friday ever. That's the busy Friday.
It's been dead. You've done bugger all night. I'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. Bye bye.
I finally bought some flowers and some candles. And now it's eat and sleepy's time. Good night, my lovelies. Take great care of yourselves, and I will catch you tomorrow. Good night. God bless.